Jackson for the inaugural
What a great
address.
honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, and it is going to be a nice Easter weekend, I hope, for you. Nice Passover. Yes, folks, I wish our world was about bunnies and duckies, little marshmallow peeps, colored Easter eggs, chocolate, whatever. That's what it used to be about, in addition to being, the celebration of the resurrection and Passover for many people. It has now become, in a lot of ways, for me, a day of reflection. What should we really be thinking about? What's really important? Well, I think our lives, our nation, right? That's really important. It's not about chocolate, marshmallows, eggs. There's some bigger questions that need to be addressed. Well, we've been discussing a lot of international problems, but literally we face problems here as well. Now, the disclaimer at the beginning of the video, the radical leftist knucklehead who was screaming her head off that she couldn't believe that, her political hero lost and that Trump won. That's that meme, those pictures of that lunatic. Those are the people who are actually in charge, folks. Right now, meanwhile in DC, the evidence that person really believes they're not out of their mind and that anything they say and anything they do is completely justified is being supported by the very evil people. And I'm going to call them evil, folks. In DC, Justice Reggie Jackson. And no, I'm not talking about the renowned baseball superstar from the 1970s and 80s. This is a judge, and he is holding kangaroo court, and he is going to be trying the January 6th protesters. And the Department of Justice is like putting an advertisement out to hire more prosecutors because they're going to throw the book at everyone. And Justice Reggie Jackson, folks, is all about lynching them. They've got their kangaroo court and their juries all picked and lined out. They're ready, folks. They're going to start going after them and convicting them, prosecuting them. It's going to be bad, right? And Americans should be concerned, rightly, folks, about law and order, justice, and equality under the law, real law. Instead, folks, we have kangaroo courts up in DC. You're going to have kangaroo courts in California, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, New Mexico, parts of Wisconsin, Michigan, certainly in Illinois, any liberal city, any liberal state. I am literally considering not ever traveling into one of those states again, because the risk and the threat is you could be accused of anything and end up in big trouble. Now, in the free states, things are a lot different. And as you, meaning you and I, patriots, engage in activism for truth, preparing for SHTF, informing and helping others get prepared. As we do that, and our activism for truth is prepping to action, right? All of these things rolled into one is our job, right? And that is going to include, folks, people coming down your street, not hunting for Easter eggs, but hunting for you. Are you prepared with defense in mind? But in the free states, things are different than they are in Washington, D.C., where they're going to prosecute people for trespassing on public property after being invited in by the police. Well, in Harris County, Texas, a free state, two of Judge Lena Hidalgo, there's a judge, a county judge named Lena Hidalgo, two of her staffers, folks, two of her staff members were indicted this week because prosecutors, right, expanded an investigation into an $11 million Jim Jones Juice outreach contract. And it was awarded to one of Judge Lena Hidalgo's political cronies. political buddies. Now, the Texas Rangers last month raided the office of Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo, and they executed a search warrant related to this $11 million Jim Jones Juice outreach contract, which was awarded to one of the judge's friends, political cronies. Now, if you're thinking Texas Rangers, you're thinking Lone Wolf McQuade, right? You're thinking of Walker, Texas Ranger, the character created, or characters created by our good buddy. Just drew a total blank. Been dealing with reality so long, it's hard to reach into the world of fantasy, but it almost seems like we need these kind of heroes. We need some good guys, folks. There are good guys in SHTF, and the Texas Rangers, right, are making law and order happen. They're not really staffed with Chuck Norris type people. Chuck Norris being the character who played Lone Wolf McQuade. Right. It's incredible what's going on. Do we have justice? Well, you're not going to get it in Washington, D.C. You're not going to get it in liberal places. But in Texas, probably the same in Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, the free states. And I know there's more free states out west. Arizona's trying to be a free state. We got Wyoming and the Dakotas, Montana. Better figure that shit out. Because if you don't, we're going to end up with these people. Now, this judge, Lena Hidalgo, she went public to whine and pretend she is about law and justice. Yeah, she went on mainstream media and made herself sound like a saint. And like other liberals, folks, they're all liars, and they use the law for themselves and hide behind the law. And I have rights, and I didn't do anything wrong, but they want to use tyranny on the peasants, right? From the bench, folks, Lena Hidalgo had some problems, right? She is a radical far left judge, one of the most aggressive, nasty cerveza bug tyrants in Texas during the pandemic. She threatened to jail and fine people for violating her cerveza bug rules. And she was trying to keep this little secret of her making her good buddies rich. Well, you're using your political power to enrich others who support you. That's illegal. That's not law and order. She went on ABC 13 and is charging that there's partisan politics involved in her prosecution. Right? The very thing that they're doing in Washington, D.C. And she says there's a fundamental misunderstanding of the facts. And at worst, it's a weaponization of the criminal justice system for political purposes. So I'm not going to play into that. Are you kidding me? Right? She was trying to enrich her friends with a lucrative deal on the local level, just $11 million, not $11 billion like they do on the federal level. She says her staffers are hardworking people. They work day and night for the people of Harris County. Yeah, day and night. Do you believe that, folks? No, they probably work a 32-hour work week at best for full pay and full benefits. Right. It's crazy, folks. It's absolutely crazy. Where are we at, right? Well, the Texas Rangers and the prosecutors are going after more than just her staffers. See, she knows that they're going to get to her. We need justice, folks. And none of this happens. I mean, we can hope that the Texas Rangers, that prosecutors, that other people, and not just in Texas, but all states, they actually go and prosecute the powerful for their large crimes. I mean, we want drugs off the streets. We want hookers off the street. We want thugs and all that off the streets and thieves locked up. But it's the high level ones that are making a huge difference. Look at what's going on in Washington, D.C. with the January 6th protesters. They are locked up for trespassing, folks, after being invited into the Capitol. They've been held for well over a year for walking on public property upon the invitation of the police. How is that anywhere near just? But they're calling that an insurrection. It's political and it's politicized and it's being used for political purposes. It's being used to chill free speech. You see, it's really not about Lena Hidalgo in Texas. It's about law and order. And it's not really about the January 6th protesters. It's about freedom and liberty in our country. And it is being destroyed for political purposes. Yes, we all need to have a nice Easter Passover weekend. We need to let the children play, retain some of their innocence, and please, no masks. Right? No bunny masks, no chicken masks. And we don't need any of that crap. What we need is our country back. And you and I need to fight for it. And you also need to be fully prepared, because that can change in an instant. Right? One day everything's fine. The next day they're telling us to stay home, locked down. One day you're able to shop and do what you want. The next day you're told you can't shop and that you're going to kill people just by breathing air. You've got to be prepared, folks. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. One day everything's fine. The next day they've shut off the fuel to the Northeast. One day everything's fine. The next day President Biden shuts off the Keystone Pipeline. 100,000 jobs killed, families destroyed, projects, our energy independence completely turned off. What other things can happen with the snap of a finger? Anything the powerful want. And we're seeing and hearing a story allegedly about a local judge abusing power, a local judge enriching herself and doing whatever she wants while she's getting caught. In Washington, there's no one big enough to stop these people. There's no one above, like this DC judge, Reggie Jackson. There's no one above Nancy Pelosi or the president that can stop them, and they're illegal and expose them. The attorney general is accusing parents of being domestic terrorists instead of looking at the corruption. There's going to be bigger problems, folks. These aren't going to solve themselves. They're not just going to go away. They're not going to learn their lessons, and they're not going to be satisfied with their power. Evil always consumes everything it can. Everything. Are you prepared? Chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you are a prepper? Godspeed to all. Semper Fi means always faithful. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the notification bell if you're not in that already. And help others wake up by sharing these links with them. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. And oh yeah, if you can, go to the main channel and hit the play all button, set it and forget it. And let's show YouTube, yeah, this information is valuable and people do want to hear it. You guys be cool. I'll see you very soon for Free for All Friday. And that'll be live on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon supporter on patreon.com, thank you. Your $2 a month helps keep the lights on, keeps spam in the pantry. You guys be cool.